Welcome back! Today, we're diving straight into a royal shakeup that's turning heads across the nation. The British royal family's carefully arranged summer retreat has been thrown off course, thanks to a sudden advisory and the relentless call of duty that no crown can escape. Balmoral Castle, that grand fortress tucked into the wild beauty of the Scottish Highlands, isn't just any estate. It's the royals' private escape. Their playground away from flashing cameras and stiff palace routines, this sprawling Victorian jewel, once claimed by Queen Victoria herself, has long been their sanctuary. The one place where the family could breathe without the world watching every move. Generations have flocked to Balmoral for a break from the crown's heavy weight, trading red carpets for rugged hills and endless ceremonies for fireside talks that decide the monarchy's future. Behind those granite walls, deals are whispered, strategies are drawn, and personal feuds are either buried or reignited over a glass of whiskey. But here's the twist. What was supposed to be a quiet season of rest suddenly got interrupted by urgent orders from above. Instead of simply retreating, the royals have been forced into decisions that could change more than just their summer plans. They could alter the very course of the monarchy's next chapter. Balmoral may look serene from the outside, but this year, its halls are buzzing with more tension and power plays than ever before. This summer escape to the Scottish Highlands has never just been a getaway. It's a sacred ritual for the royals. Balmoral isn't just where they sip tea and stroll through gardens. It's where the family reconnects, regroups, and quietly maps out the year ahead while the world thinks they're simply on holiday. It's tradition, power, and family politics all rolled into one secret retreat. But this year, that tradition was slammed to a halt. After months of meticulous planning, the royals suddenly had their cherished summer break ripped out from under them. And not because of scandal, not because of politics. This time it was nature itself stepping in. Meteorologists sounded the alarm. A fierce, dangerous storm was barreling straight for Balmoral. The kind of storm that could trap even the royals in their granite stronghold and make travel into the Highlands a perilous gamble. The risk wasn't just for the family, but for every loyal staff member tasked with keeping the castle running like clockwork. So in a move that stunned the public, the palace pulled the plug and made the rare call to shut down Balmoral. Completely. The announcement came last Tuesday, confirming the immediate closure of the castle, its manicured gardens, and even the exhibitions that tourists flock to see. Doors locked, grounds sealed, access denied. That kind of drastic step doesn't happen lightly, and it left people whispering. Was this just about the storm? Or was the palace also seizing the chance to regroup in private, far from public eyes? One thing's for sure. The tension in the Highlands was suddenly louder than the thunder rolling in. The sudden closure of Balmoral wasn't just a casual precaution, it was a drastic move that showed just how dangerous the looming storm really was. Normally, the estate swings open its gates to tourists in the summer whenever the royals aren't around. But this time, the shutters came down fast, locking out the public and making it clear the palace wasn't taking any chances with lives or with the property that carries generations of history. Yet even as the storm clouds started to drift and the weather warnings eased, the royals couldn't just pack up and resume their Highland escape. No, something far bigger was waiting, something that carried more weight than any storm could bring. A solemn duty carved into the royal calendar, one that demanded the king himself take center stage. Buckingham Palace released a rare and formal confirmation just last week. King Charles III would be delivering an audio message for the nation on VJ Day, Victory over Japan Day. And not just any anniversary. This year marks the 80th year since that momentous day in 1945 when Imperial Japan surrendered, ending the Second World War once and for all. The sheer scale of that milestone made it impossible for the king or the family to treat their summer plans as business as usual. What was once a holiday suddenly turned into a stage for duty, remembrance, and the heavy burden of history pressing down on Charles's reign. The 80th anniversary of VJ Day isn't just a number on a calendar. It's a heavy reminder of sacrifice, pain, and resilience that shaped the world we live in today. For the royal family, this milestone isn't just about ceremony. It's about carrying the weight of remembrance, making sure the voices of those who fought and those who suffered are never silenced. For King Charles and Queen Camilla, this duty is far too important to skip. Instead of retreating to the quiet highlands, they're staying firmly in England, standing front and center for the commemorations. Their attendance at a solemn service is more than tradition. It's a message of unity, respect, and gratitude to the generation that endured one of humanity's darkest hours. Every step they take at this event is meant to remind the nation of the courage that pulled Britain through the fire of war. Charles's decision to deliver a nationwide audio message adds another layer of weight to the day. In an age of fast, disposable news, this message is designed to cut through the noise and strike deep, echoing across the country as a pledge that the sacrifices of the past will never be brushed aside or forgotten. But the king and queen won't stand alone in this solemn duty. Other senior royals are fanning out across the nation to make sure every corner of the UK feels included in the remembrance. Prince Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, and his wife Duchess Sophie are set to head to Edinburgh, the beating heart of Scotland. There, they'll carry the king's presence to the north, ensuring the Scottish people also witness royal recognition of this historic anniversary. The scale of the VJ Day commemorations shows just how united and committed the working royals truly are. While the king and queen anchor the ceremonies in England, another royal couple, Prince Richard, the Duke of Gloucester, and his wife, the Duchess of Gloucester, attend the ceremonies in Scotland, Gloucester, are stepping into their own vital role. Their path leads them to the grand and hauntingly beautiful Norwich Cathedral, where they will stand among a congregation gathered to remember one of the most painful chapters of the war. This service is not just ceremonial, it's deeply emotional. It shines a light on the unimaginable suffering endured by prisoners of war held in the Far East, men and women who endured years of brutality in camps that broke bodies but never fully crushed spirits. The Duke and Duchess's presence sends a powerful message of solidarity, a royal acknowledgement that the scars of that suffering are still felt across families even today. And their duties won't end there. Once the Norwich service concludes, the couple will head to Suffolk to attend yet another remembrance ceremony, extending the royal family's reach across the map. Each stop underscores how seriously the monarchy takes its role in weaving together the nation's collective memory on this milestone anniversary. But the commemorations don't close with these August events. The palace has already revealed plans for a culminating reception later this autumn. Inside Windsor Castle itself, veterans of the Second World War will be honored in a gathering that promises both grandeur and intimacy. A fitting finale to a season of remembrance. For many, this upcoming reception will not only celebrate survival, but also close the circle on 80 years of memory, grief, and resilience. With Windsor's walls echoing stories of a generation that sacrificed everything. These commemorations are more than ceremonies. They're the monarchy's chance to show raw gratitude to those who sacrificed everything. Every bow of the head, every word spoken, every hand shaken serves as a reminder that honoring veterans isn't just a duty for the royals. It's a tradition that defines their very role in British life. But once the solemn VJ Day events draw to a close, the family is expected to finally exhale and resume the summer retreat they had to put on hold. Balmoral Castle still awaits them, just a few days later than planned. After standing in the spotlight of national remembrance, the royals will head north to Scotland's Highlands, where they'll trade grand cathedrals and memorials for misty hills, quiet lochs, and the privacy they crave so desperately. This entire sequence of events captures the razor's edge the monarchy constantly walks. On one side, deeply personal traditions that keep the family grounded. On the other, the relentless, unpredictable demands of duty that can strike without warning. King Charles's team showed how quickly they could pivot, shelving holiday plans in an instant to put remembrance above rest, and pulling the entire family into coordinated roles that left the nation watching in admiration. It's also a stark reminder of just how fragile even the most polished royal schedule really is. Nature's fury can scatter months of planning in a heartbeat, and the weight of history can pull the royals back into service at any given moment. And yet, through storms, shifting calendars, and heavy symbolism, the monarchy keeps adapting. shouldering duty while still trying to protect the fragments of private life that remind them they are human beneath the crown. When the royal family finally makes their way back to Balmoral, the Highlands will once again become more than just a retreat. It will turn into the royal pressure cooker where family bonds and private power struggles quietly collide. Outwardly, Balmoral is painted as a place of peace, fishing trips, long walks through the heather, and dinners by the fire. But behind those granite walls, it's often where the most sensitive conversations unfold. The kind that never make it into the press releases. This year, that tension will be even heavier. The delayed start to their summer break has left nerves frayed, and the weight of duty still clings to them like a shadow. Charles will want quiet to recharge, yet his role as monarch never truly pauses. Every visitor, every briefing folder that arrives in his study is a reminder that he rules even from his so-called holiday. Camilla, meanwhile, will likely try to keep the household calm, smoothing over cracks before they spill into view. And then there's William and Catherine, who are expected to spend time at Balmoral with their children. For them, the Highlands are a chance to give their kids freedom, running across the grounds, riding ponies, living the life of young royals away from flashing cameras. But insiders whisper this year's gathering carries more weight than usual. After all, these informal family talks often shape the monarchy's future direction. Whether it's who takes on certain duties, how they handle ongoing public criticism, or even how they plan to modernize in the years ahead. Every summer, Balmoral is billed as the royals' safe haven. But insiders know it's also the one place where family tensions can't be avoided. With everyone under the same roof, polite smiles at church quickly give way to sharp glances across the dining table, and the smallest comments can spark whispers about who's really pulling the strings behind palace doors. This year, the stakes are even higher. King Charles is determined to cement his legacy, but some say his health and heavy workload mean he leans more than ever on trusted voices around him. Camilla has grown into a formidable influence, and her steady presence often shapes how Charles responds to crises. But not everyone in the family is thrilled about just how strong her hand has become in the king's decision-making. William, as heir, knows Balmoral isn't just a holiday spot. It's his training ground. Every meeting, every fireside chat with his father is a chance to assert himself as the future monarch. Catherine, ever composed, is said to keep her distance from palace politics in public. But behind the scenes, her quiet counsel often guides William's moves. That balance between Charles and William, between present and future, can sometimes tip into subtle rivalry, especially when discussions about modernizing the monarchy come to the table. And then there are the extended royals, dutiful but sometimes overlooked. Their presence at Balmoral can stir up old frustrations about roles, recognition, and influence. With the monarchy under constant scrutiny, every relative wants to show they matter, but not everyone gets the spotlight they crave. Balmoral isn't just a family retreat, it's the monarchy's hidden boardroom, where whispers echo louder than official speeches. Insiders say this year's gathering carries an unusual sense of urgency, with the royals expected to confront questions that could shape the monarchy for years to come. King Charles, already juggling health concerns and the weight of remembrance events, knows Balmoral won't just be about long walks and Highland picnics. Private talks are expected to circle around the future workload of the monarchy, who takes on more, who steps back, and how the crown adapts to a world that's changing faster than ever. Some even suggest tough choices about roles and responsibilities could be made before the summer break is over. William and Catherine are at the heart of these discussions. With public sympathy high after Catherine's health battles, some courtiers argue it's time to shield her and adjust her duties. Others whisper that William must step up sooner rather than later, taking on more of the day-to-day burden to ensure stability in the institution. That idea, though practical, reportedly stirs unease about whether Charles is ready to share the stage. Meanwhile, the extended royals, like Edward, Sophie, and even the Gloucesters, will watch closely. Any redistribution of duties could either strengthen their standing or push them further into the shadows. These undercurrents of rivalry, though rarely acknowledged in public, often surface at Balmoral, where candor replaces ceremony. So now Balmoral, the crown's quiet escape, has turned into a stage for storms, sacrifice, and strategy. What was meant to be a calm summer retreat became a lesson in just how fragile royal schedules really are, easily overturned by the fury of nature and the weight of duty. From weather warnings to historic anniversaries, the royals once again showed that the crown bends, but it does not break. But the real question lingers. What does this mean for the future of the monarchy? Every decision made in those Highland halls could echo for years to come, shaping who carries the burden, who steps forward, and who quietly fades into the background. To the public, it may look like just another delayed holiday, but behind those castle walls, the choices are far more serious, far more defining. So here's where you come in. What are your thoughts on this sudden shift in the royal family's summer retreat? Do you think putting national remembrance ahead of personal rest shows their true dedication? Or does it reveal just how relentless and unforgiving royal duty really is? We want to hear it. Drop your opinions in the comment section below, because your perspective matters in this conversation. And of course, don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this video so more people can join in on the discussion.